Then we move on to Fehlerklassifikation. So how to classify the different errors? You can classify globally based on Kompetenzfehler and Performanzfehler. Kompetenzfehler is error that occur due to non-availability or not understanding of a particular structure from the language. Meaning the teacher hasn't taught that concept yet and the student tries to use it in his communication and thereby you have an error. Performance failure meaning errors that take place because of not fully implemented automation. Meaning the concept has been introduced by the teacher, you know the rules and the regulations, you know how to build them, but you just did one exercise. Technically you haven't repeated the exercise long enough to automate that in your brain. So those errors which happen during the Übungs phase because of unvollkommene automation is called as performance errors. Then you can classify the error based on learn process. First one is Ausrutscher. Ausrutscher basically errors that can be corrected by the students themselves and they correct it and then they also know that this is an error which they have made. Then you have Irrtümer. Irrtümer are errors which occur despite of you automating the rules and regulations of the language in your brain. Mostly they happen because of misunderstanding or forgetting the rules. Here you must help the students to better anchor the rules and regulations in the brain and give them more Wiederholungs exercise. Then you have Versuche or called as creative failure. These are basically Kompetenzfehler because the student is trying to do something which hasn't been taught in the class. Then you have Kommunikationshindernde Fehler. So these are error which affects the communication or the way the person has communicated hasn't been properly understood by the empfänger. Then you have Kommunikation nicht hindernde Fehler. Despite the error, the message has been communicated. So this is basically Fehlerfossilisierung area, but it works as long as you have the other person got the idea correctly. Then you have the classification based on Sprachebene. This is relevant for the Schriftliche Fehlerkorrektur. You have Phonetische Phonologische Fehler. Basically errors during Aussprache or Rechtschreibungsfehler, orthography, while you are writing the sentences. Then you have Morphosyntaktische Fehler. These are basically errors in Satzaufbau. So verb in zweiter Position, instead you put the verb in third place, subject in the second place, that kind of a Satzaufbau failure. Lexikosemantische Fehler. These are basically using the wrong words to communicate the idea. Pragmatische Fehler, basically socio-cultural failure, usage of incorrect verbal form or non-verbal form in the different culture situation.
With that, the chapter comes to an end. Please feel free to like, subscribe and comment to the channel. If you have any questions, then contact me via email or put down your comments and I'll be able to reply. Thank you.